Hello, my name is Gregor von Laschewski, and I will be telling you today about how to use Hadoop on FutureGrid. I hope that you visit also our other tutorials that we have prepared and that you enjoy using FutureGrid. Thank you. So let us take a look how we can use Hadoop on FutureGrid. There are many ways on how you can run Hadoop on FutureGrid, but one of my favorite ones is running Hadoop with MyHadoop, which is essentially a batch queuing system that is put in front of Hadoop. This enables, for example, larger classes to run Hadoop, while each user can still use Hadoop without exhausting all the resources. We're essentially queuing our Hadoop jobs, and they are being done one by one. If you want to find more out about Hadoop, we encourage you to go to the Apache Hadoop project. Let's now try to start our Hadoop jobs. So you can follow our tutorial in our manual at manual.futuregrid.org. There we have a chapter on what we are doing today. And all the steps that I'm presenting today are literally just included in this particular manual. And you can follow it while looking over it. So let me push the manual out of the side so that we can see what I need to be doing. First of all, I need to be logging in into a machine that has my Hadoop installed. So let's just go on to machine India. I go onto this machine, and the first thing I need to do is I need to be loading the module that contains my Hadoop. So I say module load and my Hadoop. I need to also add, for example, Java. I say module add Java, because Hadoop uses also Java. And then for your convenience, we have created actually a sample script that we just simply copy to our environment. And the sample script is in more detail listed in the tutorial. You can either copy it or you can paste and copy it from the manual into your favorite editor. Let's just copy it into our environment, and we can actually take a look at the manual. So let's just do Emacs PBS example sh. And this shows us what the script looks like. The first thing that we notice is the usual PBS commands, and if you don't know what they mean, I encourage you to take a look at the PBS manual. Take our tutorial on how to run HPC jobs on FutureGrid. But it's really simple. Here in our case, we define a queue that's called batch. That's our default queue on this particular machine. We define the job name that we are defining. We could be using maybe Gregor or Albert Hadoop.job. We can specify the number of nodes and where we put the output and so forth. So just again, take a look at the manual of PBS and you find many different options. First thing, we load the module Java as we are executing a Java program. We need to be setting up also the My Hadoop environment that is being specified in a particular location. That is happening next. Then we need to be specifying a configuration directory for Hadoop, and in our case we just specify one under our home directory, under which we, for example, can put files or other configuration information that is important for our run. So the next thing is we just set up our environment. We have PBS configure script developed for Hadoop, and it's accessible in this way. We set up the HDFS parameters for Hadoop, and then we start all of our daemons for Hadoop, and we have a simple script that we just run from the Hadoop home directory. Next, we also need to be making sure that we are setting up maybe a data directory, and we copy the data from our example, which includes an example from the famous Gutenberg example from Hadoop that does some word count example. We copy this in the necessary directories and specify the output directories. And that's all that we need to do. And then at the end here, you can see that one of the calls is actually running the Hadoop job. And once we are done with copying the result back, we stop all our services and we conduct our cleanup on our machines. And that's all there is to know for running Hadoop via shell script. You can customize the shell script with your own Hadoop jobs. But let us just take a look at what happens when we are running this Hadoop experiment. So how do we run it? Well, consult with our manual, and you will see that you will run it just as any arbitrary job that we have. So in our case, we just execute q sub, and then we have our example pbs example.sh. And when we submit it, we see our process or job ID that we can inspect, and we can take a look in our queue. We can say q stud, and we see here under Albert is actually our job, and it is marked with R. It actually indicates that it's running. We can also say show queue to see a little bit more condensed version. And so there we see, for example, Albert is in the current state on idle, and certain things are being set up, and hopefully at one point the job will be ready. Once you have actually run the job, you will be able to find our output, and you will find it under the output file that we specify. So, oh, I mistyped. And there you see, we have our output coming in, and it shows essentially the word code for this Gutenberg example. That's all there is to know about running Hadoop. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope that you will be seeing some of our other tutorials that we have created. Thank you very much.